The Celtics were supposed to be finished. Their best player was gone, carried off the court after dropping 42 points in Game 4, their season hanging by a thread.
Knicks do have a foul to give. Tatum, step back, long three-pointer, puts it in! Jayson Tatum. Somebody besides Brunson really had to have a big game, and the Knicks have gotten a few. Tatum steps back, three-pointer. It's good! Jayson Tatum, his sixth three-pointer. This releases in the NBA. Tatum against Karl Anthony Towns. Pull up, jump shot, it's good. Tatum, catch off the dribble, gets in the paint, stops falling away.
Down 3-1, morale at rock bottom, and the reigning champs looked ready to crumble, while the Knicks were one win away from their first Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. But on May 14th, something shifted. In front of a roaring TD Garden crowd, Boston flipped the script, stunning the Knicks and forcing a Game 6. And the wildest part? They did it without Jayson Tatum.
White, it's a three, closed Towns.
Going left.
Brown, three, trying to tie and does. Without their star, really showing up. Cornet!
So, how exactly did the Celtics pull this off? And is it actually possible they're better without their superstar? To understand how we got here, we need to go back to the exact moment the Knicks thought this series was over. The breaking point. Tatum goes down. With 5 minutes left in Game 4, Jayson Tatum planted his foot and reached for a gear his leg wouldn't allow. No contact, just a sudden collapse. He just dropped 42 points on 16 for 28 shooting. He was in full takeover mode. And then, silence. Knicks fans erupted, sensing victory, while Celtics fans watching from home fell silent. Even the Knicks bench paused, knowing this wasn't just a 121-113 win. It was the kind of injury that changes seasons. The MRI confirmed what everyone feared. Tatum was done for the playoffs, maybe even the entire next season. A 3-1 series deficit was now paired with losing the one player who'd kept them afloat. The Celtics locker room didn't talk after that game. They didn't have to. But what happened next surprised everyone. Because the absence of Jayson Tatum didn't break the Celtics, it sparked something else. And it started with a player who's been living in Tatum's shadow for years. Jaylen Brown's quiet takeover. Jaylen Brown has always been Boston's other guy. Not the franchise face, not the fan favorite, but always reliable. After Tatum went down, though, Brown didn't just step up. He seized control. He's dropped at least 19 points in 8 playoff games, averaging 20.5 points in this series alone. In Game 5, he was the engine, driving to the rim, pulling up in the mid-range, barking on defense, shouldering the load as Boston's new leader. His game wasn't about flash, it was about results. Social media noticed. One fan posted, "Jaylen Brown, I'm sorry I love you." Another went further. "Celtics play better without Jayson Tatum." It sounded crazy until you looked at how the ball was moving, how every possession looked less like isolation and more like chemistry. Brown was playing like a man unchained. But even he couldn't do it alone. Because in Game 5, someone nobody expected became a folk hero. You won't believe who it was. Luke Kornet and the rise of the Kornetima. Most people didn't even know Luke Kornet was still in the league. He's a 7-1 bench warmer, averaging just 6 points and 5 rebounds per game during the regular season. But in Game 5, Luke Kornet became a meme, in the best way. Fans dubbed it the Kornetima. He crashed the glass, made timely buckets, and outworked the Knicks' front court on the floor.
Brunson on Brown.
Trying to wear down. Brunson down low.
Cornet! They need everything they can get. Anunoby working through trap. Brown will take it in. Cornet! And Brown goes right at Brunson. Tip in. Brunson to Hart. Sneaks.
There's a viral image of him with arms raised, looking like he'd just won a title. It was electric. The Celtics bench fed off his energy. The TD Garden crowd erupted every time he touched the ball. And here's the thing, this wasn't a fluke. With Kristaps Porzingis still battling an illness he's had for over a month, Boston needed someone to fill that void. Kornet didn't just fill it, he owned it. His energy wasn't just a spark, it was a wake-up call for the entire team. And while Kornet's story lit up social media, the Knicks were falling apart on the other end. The Knicks' collapse begins. You could feel it in the way the Knicks walked off the court after Game 5. Heads down, shoulders slumped, quiet. They had a 3-1 lead. They had just watched Boston's best player leave the series. They should have closed it out. Instead, they looked stunned, failing to capitalize on Boston's missing star. Fans online roasted the team. One post showed the Knicks as sad cartoons, captioned, "Knicks tonight." Another said, "Would be mad funny if Knicks blew this." And it's not just the fans turning. Mikal Bridges, a key piece in their rotation, had a brutal Game 5. Betting accounts mocked his stat line. Mikal Bridges, when I take his over, became the meme of the night. This wasn't just a bad night. It felt like the beginning of a spiral, especially with players like Jalen Brunson, who dominated Game 4, unable to find their rhythm. And Celtics fans could feel it too. The battle cry had already begun. Celtics in 7. But there's something even deeper going on here, because this isn't the first time Boston's been in this exact situation. History repeating, Boston's familiar fight. If there's one team that knows how to survive in the playoffs, it's the Celtics. This is the same franchise that's made 4 straight Eastern Conference Finals.
Fourth quarter win. Pritchard dances and puts up a long three. And Brunson can be too.
The same group that battled through wars with Giannis, Butler, Durant, and came out stronger, like when they took the 2023 Heat to 7 games in the ECF, nearly overcoming a 3-0 deficit. Now they're clawing back from 3-1, channeling that same grit. Only 13 teams in NBA history have ever pulled it off, and Boston's trying to do it without their best player. This isn't new to them. In fact, it might be what they do best: grind. Kristaps Porzingis summed it up after Game 4. We have no choice but to push forward. And that's exactly what they've done.
Drew Holiday, Brown, extra pass, everybody touching it, and White knocks down another three.
And the reason why you
If they
tell
win Game
Jayson
6,
Tatum
they get to bring it back to Boston. Game 7. At home, in front of a crowd that just watched them rise from the dead. But there's still one major factor that could swing everything: the mental game. And that pressure? It's not on the Celtics anymore. The Knicks' 25-year wait. The Knicks haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. That pressure, it's starting to show. New York came into this series with swagger, riding the wave of their best season in decades, led by Jalen Brunson's 26 second-half points in Game 4.
Brunson. He'll dance on Pritchard. Meticulously working his way in to get the ball to go. Oh, he's
But now, that wave's crashing fast. They've already let one closeout chance slip. Game 6 is their second shot. If they lose again, Game 7 becomes a nightmare scenario. Because the Celtics aren't just the reigning champs, they're the team with nothing to lose. The Knicks, they have everything on the line. Legacy, momentum, narrative. One bad quarter in Game 6, and Madison Square Garden will turn ice cold. Even NBA conspiracy theorists are joining the party. One fan joked, "Silver wants Boston in the finals for ratings." It's tongue-in-cheek, but you can feel it. This series has taken on a life of its own, and now there's only one question left to answer. All eyes on Game 6. From a 3-1 hole to a chance at Game 7, the Celtics have turned disaster into destiny. Jaylen Brown has rewritten his narrative. Luke Kornet has gone from nobody to cult hero. And Boston, they've reminded everyone why they're the reigning champions. Game 6 will either be the end of the road or the most dramatic chapter yet. For the Knicks, it's about proving they're ready. For the Celtics, it's about proving they're not done yet. One team is trying to escape its past. The other, trying to make history again. And now, it all comes down to one game, and maybe one more after that.